Hello and welcome to my Paleo 101 video mini course. This video is part of the 101 series that I'm putting together, so if you want to get more videos, visit www.paleoflip.com/mailing list, or one word, and sign up for my newsletter. So today in this short video, we'll talk about calorie restriction for fat loss and why calorie counting simply doesn't work in the long term and why paleo does. So let's kick it off with a question. Does calorie restriction help with weight loss? The answer is yes, but there is a but, and there are some very serious problems with this approach. Number one, no one really enjoys being hungry all the time. Number two, you lose muscle along with fat. So yes, it is effective at losing weight, but not so effective at losing fat alone. And number three problem, you bounce right back after you're done with your diet, and your weight usually goes higher than when you started. Let's talk about the question of relapse. Why do people gain weight back so fast after their calorie restriction diet programs? The answer is simple, because of their decreased metabolism. So when we talk about metabolism, it's not some magic thing that exists somewhere within your body. Metabolism is the ability of your body to burn energy, and a big chunk of your metabolism is in your muscles. Your muscles are very inefficient at using energy, and they need a lot of energy to survive. This means that the more muscle mass you have, the faster your metabolism is, and the more food you can eat without getting fat. Now, what you need to know is that conventional calorie restriction diets usually result in muscle loss as well as fat loss, which is exactly why you're going to be worse off after the diet than you were before. Now let's talk about the paleo healthy approach for fat loss. How does paleo work? We already know that paleo is a diet that eliminates any food that is bad for you. That means all added sugars and all processed food. On top of that, paleo avoids grains, legumes, and low-fat or processed dairy. As you eliminate bread, flours, grains, and starch from your diet will consist of about 50% fat, about 30% protein, and about 20% carbohydrates. All your carbohydrates should come from fruits and vegetables. So, why is paleo better for fat loss? To understand that, you need to understand how food hormones work first. I'm going to introduce you to three very basic hormones, and don't worry, I'll keep it very simple. The first hormone is insulin. When you eat food, your body releases insulin as a signal to your liver, your muscles, and your fat tissue to store blood sugar as energy in the form of either glycogen or fat. Insulin basically ensures a steady supply of energy in your body. If you have a good insulin function, that is. Some people don't have good insulin function. We call them insulin resistant, which in simple English is that you have too much insulin in your system too often. Now, the second food hormone is called glucagon. I love glucagon, and so should you, because glucagon transforms your fat stores into blood sugar. In other words, glucagon is responsible for your healthy fat loss. Glucagon works to give you energy in between meals without you feeling sleepy at 2 p.m. So when your blood sugar becomes low because you haven't eaten for a while, a glucagon release will be stimulated and your fat will start turning into energy. Isn't that great? But there is a little caveat to this. This all only works if you're very healthy. To understand what it means, we have to talk about the glucagon and insulin relationship. So glucagon and insulin work together to regulate how your body stores and burns fat. Having said that, they can't work together if they're both high. If your insulin is high, your glucagon can't do its job. I'll say it again. If your insulin levels are high, your glucagon doesn't work, and you won't be able to turn fat stores into energy. That's why you want to make sure that you have low levels of insulin in your system, so that your glucagon can do its job of taking your fat stores and converting them into energy when needed. So what does trigger insulin? What does trigger insulin? The answer is pretty simple. It's the sugar, both the simple and the complex carbohydrates, which is also sugar, just another form of sugar. And that is exactly why paleo diet is so great. By eliminating all the processed carbohydrates and the added sugar, you'll be able to regulate your insulin levels and keep them to the healthy low amounts. Then your glucagon will start releasing your fat stores and turning them into energy when you need it. Why eating in protein is great for fat loss? This question brings another hormone that we'll introduce today called leptin. When your food gets in your stomach releases this hormone called leptin, which sends a signal to the brain saying that we're full. Leptin also increases the metabolic rate and sends a signal to your body to burn more fat. Leptin only works correctly if you're not desensitized to it. It's the same thing as with insulin. Chronically elevated blood sugar will interfere with your body's ability to react to leptin. This means in simple English that your body won't know when it's full, so you will keep eating when you shouldn't. Leptin is also very sensitive to protein and fat, and especially protein. When you eat protein, such as healthy fish, seafood, chicken, grass-fed beef, or egg, leptin will send a signal to your brain that you're full and you can stop eating. And as you might know, protein also keeps you full longer. Think about what happens when you eat a basket full of French fries or a sandwich. You are going to be probably hungry in 40 minutes. But when you eat a good piece of chicken, you can probably go fine for 3 or 4 hours without feeling hungry. And that is yet another way why paleo works so well for fat loss. So that concludes the Why Calorie Counting Doesn't Work episode of my Paleo 101 video course. And if you want to learn more, go ahead and subscribe to my email newsletter, and I'll keep you posted when the rest of this video course is released. Please go to paleoflip.com/mailing list and sign up for my newsletter. Don't worry, I don't spam and I won't share your information with anybody.